Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm playing Deth Wizards, Deth Wizards by Snarling Badger Studios. This is the 6th game I'm playing, and what makes this one a little different is this is a custom scenario that I made. I hope you like it. In the last episode, my lair got ambushed or attacked, and I lost a total of 6 points, rating points. And basically what that's left me with is my Necromancer, a Spectre, a Ghoul, and a Skeleton. That's it. For me to go up against a level 9 scenario, which is the next one, would probably be quite difficult. So in this game, I didn't know this rule until somebody pointed it out to me. When you lose your undead to an ambush, after your next game, you can do rerolls for all of the undead that you lost during that ambush to try to recover them. So you still have to make the roll, but it is doable. You could get your group back. So in this scenario is called the Ruins of Kozarat. And if you want it, it's free. You can get the link to download it in my weekly newsletter. Today is Monday, so it's also the day that my newsletter releases. It's for free every Monday. And so I will put a link in the description below to where you can go down, join the newsletter. And in each newsletter, or most newsletters, there's a link or a header called Custom Content. And that's where you'll find it. So this particular news scenario should be found in issue number 66, I believe. But I will confirm that and put it in the description below. So what is this? These are the Ruins of Kozarat. You have discovered that this dark energy that manifests here, you might, through your studies, you might be able to get to the ruins and sort of siphon some of that energy off in order to use it to recruit more undead. It will also benefit you if you're trying to recover some lost undead, like me, from an ambush or a lair assault. So, if you succeed by destroying all the heroes by the end of round 5, which is typical of most of these scenarios, you will get +1 for raising the undead. And if you're at full strength, you're going to get +1 on your next roll. But if you're like me and you've lost some, that +1 will also extend to those rolls for recovering undead from a lair assault. Now, if you find that that's too powerful or it's just unbalanced, I don't think it is. It will get you or me quicker back into the game. What you can do is you can keep playing level 7 rated 7 rating adventures and just keep wiping the board and slowly build your undead again. Remember, at the end of each scenario, you're rolling for another lair assault. So what I'm sort of doing here is giving myself a chance to build my warband back up and get on to some of the more difficult or the harder scenarios. So some rolls that need to be made. I'll go ahead and roll this on the camera here. You are going to start up against a number of heroes that have followed you. They know what you're up to, and they're going to try to stop you. There is 1d3 rating 2 warriors. I rolled a 4, so that means there are going to be 1, 2 rating 2 warriors. There are 2 rating 3 priests and 1 villager. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 5 versus 4. I've got my Necromancer +3 minions, so 5 versus 4, and that is going to be where I'm going to start off. All right, remember your goal in order to get that bonus, by the way, is to get your Necromancer within 2 inches of the center of the table. You will start at a far corner with your minions, and the enemy will start in the opposite corner, and their whole goal is just to try to kill you, stop you in any way they can before you reach and get that bonus power. All right, let me get my cards out, let me get my sheets ready, and I will get started playing the Ruins of Kozarat. I hope you enjoy it.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
All right, here is the setup. You can see my warband over here. You can see my enemies, the heroes, are over here. And again, my goal is to get to the center of here with my Necromancer so that I can get that bonus energy. Few things. My ghoul, the one that survived, is my +1 offense, which is good. I also got an impedimenta for my lair from the last scenario. I chose fungal, hang on, what was it called? Fungal Garden. One of my minions gets +1 offense for this game. Now my ghoul's offense is 5, my specter's is 5, so I'm going to give my skeleton the 5. So he's got +1 offense as well. So they're all going to be rolling 5 dice when they make a melee attack. All right, as per usual, my Necromancer will go first. It is round number 1. I will use a die here to indicate that. And I can activate up to 4 of my ratings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate my... I want to see what the enemy does. So I'm going to activate my skeleton first. He can move 6. So he will move a total. I'm going to double move him. Actually, can I? Yeah, I can double move him. 12. So he'll go 6. And then 6 will get him... 4 will get him right here. And then up to... He's heading up the stairs. My Necromancer is going to go. Now, my Necromancer has 19 Necro energy to start out with. My movement is... What is my movement? 5. So I'm going to go ahead and double move 10. And I need to put that 1 with the skeleton to remind me. So he's going to go ahead and move 10, which gets him all the way to right here. And that is the end of his turn. He's not casting anything. He's just going to head to the bridge here. All right, so let me spin this around so you can see the good guys or bad guys, depending on how you want to interpret it. They're over here. I hope you can see them. Yes, you can, right here. What I'm going to do is there is a hierarchy for how they move. The priests will move before the warrior, and the warriors will move before the villager. So right now, for every player that plays this, and by the way, you can play this multiplayer. For every player, you're going to move 2 heroes during an activation. So 2 heroes will be the 2 priests. Now I'm going to throw up on screen a card that tells you how the priests will react during the turn. Now, because these are level 3 priests, I say level 3 or level 2? I think I said level 3. They're a little tougher than your normal priest. They are level 3. So their offense is 6, and their defense is 6, and their durability, which is their health, is 6 plus 3 per rating. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 6. They have 15 health. So I'm going to have to remember that since I'm tracking 2 of them. All right, so if you look at the card, I'm going to roll a d10, and this will tell me what the current priest. There's 2 priests, 1 in yellow, 1 with a thing on his head. I'm going to do the 1 in yellow. I rolled a 10. The 10 is a blessing. The priest and all heroes within 12 inch increase their offense and defense by 1 until the end of the turn. All right, so he's just standing there, but he gives them a blessing. So they're all +1. Actually, I need to use a red die for that. They're all going to be +1. I need as many D10s as I can get for this game. They're all +1 for this turn, or this round of combat. It says until the end of the turn. So they get it the whole turn. The second priest rolls a 9, which is the same thing, I think. Yep. So they're all +1, +1, +1, +1, +2. So those warriors are really going to get some buffs this turn. All right, I'm going to spin this, and all that's left is my Spectre and my Ghoul. My Ghoul has a movement of 7. He can move. I'm going to send him 14. So what I'm going to do is I can send him this way. He has 7, which puts him right here. And then 7 more get him all the way, almost all the way to the top. I'll just put him right here. He is my +1 offense ghoul. My Spectre can fly, and my Spectre has a movement of 8, so she can fly too. I'm going to go ahead and have her double move, and she can move 8, which puts her right here, and then 8 puts her, man, right up in the center. So she is owning that ruin and protecting it for her Necromancer. All right, that is it for my turn. My Necromancer can also go, by the way. I should do that. The Necromancer, I have some interesting abilities. I'm not going to do Eruption of Death. Costs too much. Plus, they have to be very close for that. Let's do... Dark Shield. All damage from triggering attacker power reduced to 0. Okay, Negative Bolt is one of my basics. Restore Energy, Blasting Bolt, Rotting Curse, Reanimate. The range is way too far, so I've got a range of 20 right now. But I am going to move 5, 1, and then 4 gets him up the thing here. And I'm saving my necromantic energy. Not going to do it. So 19, and that is the end of my Necromancer's turn. All right, so what's left is the 2 warriors and the villager. So they will get to go. Just like I did the priest, the warriors have their own cards, and I'm going to put one up on screen for you, and they'll roll a d10. So what I'm going to do is there's a warrior with an axe and a warrior with a sword. I'm rolling the one for the sword, and I rolled a 5. The 5 is a strike. Now the warrior's range is melee, so they have to get right up next to you. So it says the warrior will attack the nearest enemy. Well, the nearest enemy in this case is going to be the Spectre. If there is no enemy within an inch, it will move its full move to the nearest enemy and make an attack. If it cannot move and attack such an enemy, it will move and then use its action to move again. So it'll basically double move. So the closest way to get there, since he's over here, the warrior has a movement of 6. So double moving will get him 12. So I'm gonna just draw a straight line here. He can go 6, and then he can go 4 and 2 up. The same with the other one. I need to roll to see what he does. That is a 9. The 9 is a double strike. Okay. Warrior attacks the nearest enemy, but makes 2 attacks. If there is no enemy within 1 inch, it will move its full move. If it cannot move and attack, it will move again. So it's doing a double move. They basically all sort of double move if they can't attack something. So he's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to move 6, and then he'll move 5 and 6. So he's on the ramp, sort of. All right. And then finally, the villager. Because the Necromancer can activate a minimum of 2 times. You will get at least 2 activations. But you only activate when you have minions to activate. I currently have no more minions that can be activated, so I will not get to go, which means the villager gets to go. So the villager has a card. Let's roll a d10. I rolled a 9. 9 is Retribution. The villager can only utilize this if another villager has been killed, otherwise treated as a get-em. All right, so a get-em is a 2 to 5 roll. The villager attacks the nearest enemy. If no enemy, move 5. If it cannot move and attack, it will move and then use its action to move towards the closest enemy, ending within 3 of another villager. There's only one villager, so he is going to move. Oh, by the way, I forgot what the villager's move is. The villager moves 5. So double moving, he will move 10. The closest, I suspect he will want to stay with the soldiers. So I'm gonna play him like conservative. So he's here, and that is the end of turn number 1. On turn number 2, I would get back 3 necromantic energy. However, I have not used any necromantic energy. So that is the end of the round, and we go to round number 2. Round number 2. All right, I get to activate 4 rating, which right now my Spectre is within range of those guards, of those warriors, and I would really like to take one of them out. They are level 2, so their durability is 15. They get 10 plus 3 per rating. So rating of 2 is 6 plus 10 is 16. So each one of them has 16, excuse me. Their defense is only 5, which is good. Their resist is 5. So I definitely want to be casting some spells. All right, so on my turn, I am pulling my Necromancer all the way up. He's right within the center. He's within 2 inches. So he's met his goal. And now I'm going to cast... Is it negative bolt or blasting bolt? I'm gonna cast negative bolt. It is a 4d10 attack. So what you do, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I'll explain this. So a 4d10 attack, basically I'm gonna roll the d10s and I'm trying to meet or beat the warrior's defense or their resist. If I'm casting a spell, it's the resist. If it's a melee, it's defense. So their resist is 5, which is the same as their defense. So the resist is 5. I want 5s or higher here. I got a 8, a 7, an 8, and a 1. I got 3 successes. The negative bolt says if you have at least 1 success, you do a d10. If there's at least 3, they suffer an additional 1d6. So I get to roll a d10 and a d6 for the damage on this guy. And I rolled a 2 and a 4, so 6 damage in all. So the way I do this is I use a red die to put damage on. Oops. And I do, I'll just keep that there. And a green die to indicate how much health is actually left. So he's got 16. A red die of 6 means he's got 10 health left. And now I'm going to activate my, and I go down 3 power point, by the way, necromantic power, by the way. My Spectre is going to attack. Her attack is got an 8-inch, a 10-inch range. She's definitely within range. It is 5 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's also trying to beat a 5 defense. So she needs 5s and higher. I got a 9 and 4 misses. So she did 1 hit. So this guy has 7 damage on him. And the last is I'm going to activate my Ghoul. My Ghoul has no ranged attack. I don't know if I want to send him in there just yet. Although he can. In 1 movement, he could be there and he could do an attack. I'm going to do that. He's going to run up and over. He's got +1 offense. So his normal offense is 5. So he'll roll 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's trying to beat 5s or higher. And he's got a 9, an 8, a 6, and an 8. None of those are crits. A 10 is a crit and counts as 2 hits. So I just did 4 damage to him. So he's got 1 plus 4 is 5. He's got 11 damage on him. So he's 16 minus 11. He's got 5 health left. So I'm going to switch this over to a green die with a 5 on it to indicate he's got 5 life left. And that is the end of my turn. It is now the priest's turn. So the priest action, I will roll for the first one, which is the closest, which is the yellow. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot. They have +1 defense. So, or +2 defense until the... No, this is turn number 2. Sorry, that went away. That went away. These went away on that turn. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Turn number 2. So now the priest will try again. The first priest rolls a 10, which is a blessing. And again, that happens on anyone within 12 inches. So the villager is within 12. They're all within 12. That's not good. Okay, so all these guys are +1 right now on offense and defense. What does the second priest do? A 5. The second priest rolls a cleansing strike. The priest will attack the nearest enemy. If no enemy, move 5. If it cannot move and attack, it will move and attack. It will move and then attack. All right, so it's double moving. So this guy can move. What is the priest's movement? 5. So he can move a total of 10 inches. So he will go 5. Now the question is, he has a range. The priest has a range of 12. And that my Necromancer is within 12. The Ghoul is actually about 9, and the Necromancer's 9, and the thing there is 10, the Spectre. I think the Priest would try to hurt me, knowing that any damage on me is going to come off of my necromantic energy. So you could roll this randomly. You could say 1 to 3, he's going to attack, because I've got my Necromancer and my Ghoul within the same range. The Ghoul is sort of got some cover with these bushes, so I'm going to play that. He can totally see my Necromancer. So he will attack, and this is an offense of 3 plus rating. So he's got an offense of 6 die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the way, since I cast that die, I did lower my... Okay, so I did do that. He will roll 6 dice. My wizard, my necromancer, has a defense of 5. So he needs 5s and higher to hit me. That's a miss, and 4 hits. All right, so the way this works is, it doesn't do hit point damage to me. Instead, it takes off necro energy. So I'm down to 12. When I hit 0, any excess damage that the enemy does to me when I'm at 0 necromantic energy goes to my minions that are around me. All right, so that was the Priest's turn, and it is now my turn. All I can activate is my Skeleton and my Necromancer. So I need to make this work. The Skeleton's movement is 6. He cannot get to that warrior unless he double moves. He can't get to that priest unless he double moves. So instead, I am going to move him up 6. Does he have a ranged attack? I don't believe my... No, they do not have a range. I have... The only ranged enemy or minion I have is my Spectre. So the Skeleton can move 6, which gets him right up to here. It puts him between my Necromancer and that priest. But this is going to allow me to have my Necromancer try to kill another warrior, or that same warrior. He's got 5 health. This time around, I am going to cast... Ooh, suffers 1d3 per success. The Rotting Curse has a range of 15. It's a 4d10. And for each success, it does a 1d3. And if damaged, they are cursed, which means 1 damage when they activate. All right, I'm going to do Rotting Curse. I've never done this one before. It costs 2, so I'm down to 10. And I roll 4d10, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, the Warrior's Resist is currently, that only affects their defense. That blessing does not affect their resist. Only offense and defense. So his resist is 5. I need 5s or higher. I got a hit. That's it. 1 hit. All right. It does 1d3 damage per success. So basically I roll a d6 and I'd cut the value in half and round up. So a 3 is technically a 2. 2 damage. So he's down to 3 health. And that is all I can do. This is not good, because now they're gonna double team my Ghoul. All right, it is the Warrior's turn, who are now +1 offense, +1 defense. The first warrior, who is right here, what is he gonna do? A 6, which is a whirlwind strike. The warrior will make an attack against all enemies within 1 inch. All right, so he is going to attack. And the warrior's offense is 4 plus rating, so he's going to roll 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's got an offensive +1, so he gets to roll an extra one. So he's rolling 7 dice against my Ghoul. And my Ghoul's defense, by the way, is horrible. It's 3. 3s and higher will hit. That is a hit. A hit, and a crit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My Ghoul has a durability of 10, so he has 5 health left. That's it. 5 health. All right, the next warrior, what does he do? Roll a d10. I rolled a 4, which I think is the same thing. 4 is just a strike. So he will move up to the nearest enemy, which is my ghoul. And he's +1, so he's going to roll 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he gets that bonus one for 7. If he does 5 hits, my ghoul's down. So 3s and higher. That's a hit, a hit, a hit, a hit, a hit, and a hit. He does 6, and my ghoul is destroyed. Now, it's not permanent. I may get him back. We'll have to see how that works, but he is out of the game. All right, that is the end of the warrior's turn, so this goes away. And I have one more. No, this was turn number 2, wasn't it? So the villager will get to activate. Excuse me. The villager will activate. Let's roll to see what he does. A 3 is get him. Move 5 and attack, and if you can't, double move. Well, there is no ghoul, so he wants to stay within 3 inches of an ally, so he would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if he moves 5, he's going to be almost to my Spectre, but he will stay within 3 inches of an ally. It says he'll stay within 3 inches of another villager if possible. I would not expect a villager to go running up to a Necromancer to do a full-on attack. I would expect him to sort of hold back, because if he double moves, he's not going to get to attack anyway. So he's hoping that they'll come up and defend or whatever, but that priest back there is just not doing much. All right, that is the end of turn number 2. It is now turn number 3. I get +3 necro energy, so I'm up to 13. And it is turn number 3. All right, I got to figure this out. This guy's only got 3 left. I don't care about the villager. The villager, I'm not so concerned about. My Necromancer is going to cast Rotting Curse again for 2. I'm down to 11. I'm going to cast that on this warrior that's got the 3 health left. Or, yeah, the one behind now. I roll 4 dice, and I need 5s or higher. I got 1, 2, I got 2 successes. The crit doesn't really count as 2 successes, it counts as 2 damage. But for purposes of this game, you're supposed to roll a d3 for each success. So I'm going to roll 2 d3s, and I'm hoping it adds up to 3. That is a 1 and a 1. He's got 1 health left. Come on. All right, I need to take him out. So I'm going to activate my skeleton to move and hit him. My skeleton is +1 offense. The skeleton is an offense of 4, so he'll roll 5 dice. And he's trying to beat, remember, that warrior still has +1 defense, so his defense is now 6 on melee attacks. Oh, nice. I got 2 crits and an 8. That's 5 hits, and that warrior is gone. Whoa! All right, my Necromancer went. My skeleton went. That is a rating of 1. I can activate my Spectre, because that doesn't add. That adds up to 4. That 3. 2 + 1 is 3. So I could do it. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to have my Spectre attack this warrior back here. Her offense is 5, and she's doing his defense is 6. So she's doing a black bolt. Whenever this model deals damage to an already wounded, the enemy is slowed. A slowed model. Okay, so it's not. So he's not been taking any damage. So 6 is a higher. 6 and a crit. That is 3 hits on him. So he has taken 3 damage. And that is all I can do. That is the end of my turn. It is now the priest's turn. This priest back here, what will he do? He rolls a 6, which is Cleansing Strike. So he will double move. So he's going to move 10. Or is it 12? 10. He will move 10, which gets him all the way to right here. The second priest, what is he going to do? A 7, which is a Healing Pulse. The priest and all heroes within 12 heal a d6. Well, The bad news for me is he's within D12. He has no damage. So, and the villager has no damage. So he's going to heal him 1d6. He's only taken 3 damage. He heals him by 1, so he's taken 2 damage. That's fine. Okay. And that is the 2 priests. I have activated, but I remember the Necromancer always gets to activate at least twice. So I'm going to activate again, and I am going to cast. That skeleton. I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm going to cast I'm going to use my special ability, which is my corpse bomb. I hate to do it because if you don't get them back, you're in trouble. The corpse bomb. Select 1 friendly necromantic minion. I'm going to select my skeleton. You roll a d10 equal to their durability. The skeleton's durability is 9, so he's going to move right here between them. They are within 3 inches each, so I get to roll 9 d10s, and that's how much damage it's going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the bad news is it destroys my skeleton. It also costs me, I think, 3. Let me double check that. The corpse bomb is 5. Ooh. All right, so I'm down to 6. But this could take out 2 of my enemies. Now this is a necromantic power, so it's going up against their resist. His resist is it's back down to normal, which is 5 because they did not cast that blessing this turnaround on turn 3. The priest's resist is 4 plus rating 7. All right, so we have 5 and 7. All right, let's see. Fives are fives, and I'll put in 1 line. 7's another. 9, and these miss. All right, so I do 1, 2, 3, 4 on this guy, so he's got 6 damage on him, and I only do 4 on that guy. Excuse me, 4 on the priest, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on him. So 2 more would be 6 plus 2 is 8. So 2 more damage on him, and my skeleton is gone poof. All right, that is my second round. Now it is the warriors. All right, let's roll for what this warrior does. I rolled an 8, which is a double strike. The warrior will attack the nearest enemy, making 2 offensive. He's not within 1, so I've only got the Spectre left. Ooh, this could be bad. It will move its full and then make 2 attacks. If it can, it will double move. Guess what? It can. He can move 5. He's within an inch. So he will get a double, make 2 offensive attacks. His offense is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my Spectre's defense is only 4. Ooh. That's a miss, a miss, a miss, and 3 hits. The Spectre has a durability of 8 minus 3. He's got 5 health left. But the bad news is the warrior gets to make another strike. Miss, miss, and oh, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, which takes my Spectre out. It's just my Necromancer and these 4 heroes, and I am in trouble. Okay, the villager. Let's roll to see what the villager does. The villager rolls a d10. 2. Get him. Up to 5. So he will move here and he will attack me. Now remember, the damage comes off he has an offense of 3 and my defense is 5. So that's a hit, and 2 hits. 4 hits. So I'm down to 2 necromantic energy. It's not looking good. Okay, that is the end of the turn. We go to turn number 4. I get 3 back, so I'm up to 5. 5. And Ooh boy, this is not good. Okay, so he's got 6 on him. He's got no damage on him. 4, okay, whew. I've only got 2 turns to end 4 enemies. Not looking good. All right, let's see if we can do this. What do I got? What do I got? Reanimate. I could reanimate, but it costs 6, so I can't reanimate anything. Eruption of Death, all a cost of 8. I can't do that. Negative Bolt. You know what? I satisfied my mission, and I do get a chance to recover them. So let's do this. I have a thing called Shadow Escape. It costs 2. I'm down to 3, and I can teleport up to 12 inches within line of sight, which puts me all the way back here, which means I can escape on my next turn. I still have to see what the 2 priests are going to do. So priest number 1 is a 2, which is a cleansing strike. So this one right here can double move. He won't be able to do much of anything else, but he moves all the way up to here. He's within range, but he double moves, so he can't attack. What does the second priest do? An 8. A healing pulse within 12. Yep. So how much will they heal? 3 points. So this guy will gain 3 back. He's down to 5 damage. The villager's taking no damage. He will heal up to 1 damage, just 1 damage. And that is the priest. Remember, I get to activate twice. So I will activate and move off, and I flee. Why did I do that? Because sometimes you don't have to fight to the death. Now, I don't get the reward because it says actually I do get the reward. I made it within 2 inches of the center. The Necromancers are victorious if all heroes are killed by end of turn 5. But if a Necromancer reaches the center of the ruins, they are able to siphon off some of the energy. So I'm not victorious, so I won't get XP, but I will get to try to recover my dead minions. Now remember, I'm +1 on recruiting, but you still have to roll to see if you can recover the ones that died. And the way that works is, it's on page 91. You line them up. I lost all 3 of them. And you roll a D10. And it tells you what happens. So let's do the Spectre. That is an 8. An 8 is restoration. The model is restored without change. So I got my Spectre back. Let's roll for the Ghoul. A 3, unrecoverable. So he is truly destroyed. And then my Skeleton is a 1, also unrecoverable. But again, I get to try to recover some of my lost minions from the last game. So now let's do it in order first. So the first thing I get to do is I try to get to do raise new undead. I'm going to try to raise a Ghoul. The Ghoul is a rating 2, so I have to roll a D6. Is it a D6 or a D10? It's a D6, and I have to roll higher than its level. And it says you get a bonus if you successfully created an undead after previous. I get no bonus, so I need to roll a 3 or higher. I rolled a 5, so I do get a Ghoul back. Now I can try to recover the undead that died in the last game. And what was that? Let me get them. It was a Spectre, it was a Ghoul, and it was a Skeleton. So I'm going to do this again. We'll go through and try to recover them. So recovering them, I just did the recover. You're basically rolling the restore minions again, but I get that +1 since I was successful. So let's do the Ghoul. You do a D10, add 1. That's a 3, unrecoverable. So the Ghoul is truly gone. The Spectre, +1. 4 is degraded by a stat of -1. And the Skeleton is a 3+1 is also degraded by 1. So what does this mean? Well, it means I have 2 specters, a ghoul, and a skeleton. I have a total of 2, 4, 6, 7 out of my maximum of 15. So I'm still in bad shape. 2, 4, 6, 7. Because if I go up against the next mission, which is the assault, a steal from an arcane college, it's a difficulty 9. 1d3+1 rating 3 wizards, 1 rating 2 warrior, and 1 villager. Those wizards are hard to kill. But I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to go for it. This mission was to hopefully allow me to recover some of my undead, which I did. And so in the next game, next week, I try to do these every Monday, I will be back with the next mission from the book where I will try to steal from an arcane college. All right, that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I'll do my best to address them. Again, this was a solo custom scenario. You don't have to play it. I just thought it would be fun to come up with something unique that I didn't have to go back to some of the earlier scenarios in the book, but that would give me the same kind of feel. So I got my Necromancer got his handed to him, but he did get to the center, which allowed him to recover some of his minions. All right, that's all I've got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played this custom game of Deth Wizards. I will be back next Monday with another episode. Until then, everybody, take care.